everybody, welcome back to some mindful movement. Today's practice, we're focusing on momentum, creating momentum and then maintaining momentum. And noticing that even as we are in flow and moving through the practice and the movements, there is still time for some pause, some rest, and really creating a steadiness in our movements rather than trying to rush through and make everything feel fast moving. We want things to feel steady and still grounded in the foundations that we've been practicing building. And so the main point of this practice is to really allow ourselves to feel in our bodies as well as in our minds, seeing what happens when we create momentum in our movements, and then see how that carries with you outside of the practice into everyday life, which is one of the reasons I really appreciate mindful movement and yoga and other practices that are movement-based but also incorporate mindfulness, is that it's something that we can take with us even in our day-to-day lives as well. So how we're going to practice this today is I'm going to move us through each movement of the flow first. So we'll separate each movement, practice that a few times with our breath incorporated, and then we're going to put it all together and see how it feels to move throughout the practice and letting it flow, and also letting us get a little clumsy and taking breaks when we need to, slowing down when we need to, and then hopefully by the last move through the flow, you might feel like you've got it down, and then you're welcome to continue practicing on after the video ends. So let's see. We're going to be on our feet for the whole practice. So I'm going to get off my bolster. I have 2 blocks with me just in case, as some extra support if needed. I also realized that a lot of this practice could be supported by a chair. So for those of you that it's really difficult for you to bring your hands down to the ground, a lot of what we'll be doing could simply be used with a chair. So instead of a full forward fold down to the ground, you gently bring your hands to the chair. The chair, it would be best if it was resting on a surface that you could easily kind of slide it around, because we will be sort of moving a little bit in different directions, facing different directions. So if the chair is easy and light to move, that would be preferred if you're going to be using a chair. So I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay. So to get started, we're just going to get settled into our foundation, which is the core element of any movement and also in life, just to feel like we have a foundation under ourselves in order to move forward, to start taking those steps and then to really build momentum. So you might lift your toes a little bit. If you want, you can close your eyes just as I did. Seeing if you can stand up tall with your top of your head reaching for the space above you, your feet feeling firmly planted on the ground beneath you. I like to move a little bit while I'm doing this just to really feel my feet. You might roll your shoulders back a few times just to create some space in your chest. Lifting toes, maybe alternating the foot that you put different weight on, alternating the weight between feet. Okay, so then if you are moving a bit, see if you can gently bring your body to stillness. Open your eyes if they were closed. And then from here, we'll start to move through the various phases, components, movements of the flow that we're going to be creating, the momentum flow. So essentially, the first movement is a forward fold. So we'll do a series of 3 for each in order to get comfortable with the movement, so then we can put it all together. Sound good? Awesome. I know you can't answer live, but you know. I'm imagining that you're saying yes, and if you're not, please reach out to me and we can figure something else out for you. Okay, so from here, back into our standing posture, firm feet on the ground. We're going to gently lift the arms up and overhead, and then forward fold, bending at the hips, slight bend in the knees, bringing your hands down to the ground. Your head is going to hang a bit heavy here between the arms. And then you're going to gently lift yourself up to a halfway lift. If you need, you can put blocks underneath to raise the ground beneath you. You can gently rest your hands on your shins. Whatever you need here to make the pose more accessible. And then we're going to come back down and then bend the knees to bring your chest to your upper legs, and then slowly roll yourself up. The head comes up last. Okay, hands stay at your sides. We're going to do that 2 more times. So hands come up, arms come up. You forward fold down to the ground or to your chair or to your blocks. Lift halfway up with a breath in through the nose. And then exhale everything out, folding back down, bending the legs, and slowly rolling up again on an inhale. Rolling the shoulders back, opening the chest, and bringing your arms back to your side. Doing that 1 more time. So we take a nice inhale, lifting the arms up above the head. Exhaling, bringing the arms down, the hands down to the ground, blocks, chair. Inhaling as you lift. Exhaling as you fold back down, and inhaling as you come back up. Head is the last to come up. Now you can bring your arms up and over your head again, and then exhaling your arms back to your side. Okay, how did that go? I missed the cueing of the breath at the very beginning, but I'm going to make sure that I'm doing that throughout the rest of the practice. Okay, so now we're going to do something very similar, but we're adding some side twist movements, okay? So from here, inhaling the arms up overhead, and as you exhale, coming down, folding forward, bringing your hands over to the left side, coming up towards the left. Again, the head, as you inhale, the head comes up last, and then you twist over to the right, exhaling as you come down, grazing your hands over to the center, lifting yourself up on an inhale, and then as you exhale, bring your hands over back to the right side, and then start to bend your legs and lift yourself up with an inhale, and then coming back to center. Okay, we're gonna do that a few more times. Let's see if we can find a rhythm with it. Okay, so on your inhale, arms up. You exhale and you forward fold, and you move over to the left side with your hands. You come up with an inhale over, and you move over to the right side, bringing yourself down with an exhale, grazing your hands over to the center, inhaling with a halfway lift, exhaling, hands move back over to your right side, your hands graze your right leg as you come up on an inhale, and then start to slowly move over to the left again now. And then we come down the left side, lifting up in the middle with an inhale, going back over to the left, inhaling, and then back over to the right. So we're gonna just do that a few more times, see if we can find a little flow in this. In a way, it almost feels more confusing for me when I slow it down, because I've gotten used to finding my momentum in this particular movement. But move as slowly as you need to, continuing to exhale as you come down, inhaling as you lift up in any moment of the pose, inhaling. And then from here, just bring your arms down to your side. Oh, checking in, seeing how you feel for a moment. Okay. Now, we are going to just do a few low lunges. So from here, inhaling, arms up, exhaling, arms down to the ground, or again, blocks or chair. Taking your left foot, you're just going to step it back into a lunge, a low lunge. Okay, great. From here, bringing the left foot back, inhaling with a halfway lift, exhaling, bringing your right foot back, and opening up into a low lunge here. Taking a breath through the nose, and then as you exhale, bringing your right foot back. Inhaling, exhaling, coming up with an inhale, and then exhaling your arms down, and we're going to do that 2 more times. So inhaling up, exhaling, coming down, inhaling to the halfway lift, exhaling, bringing your left foot back and coming into a low lunge, taking a nice inhale here. And as you exhale, bringing the left foot back, taking an inhale, halfway lift, and then exhale, right foot back. On your next exhale, bring your right foot back to meet your left. Inhaling halfway, and then coming up to standing again. One more time. Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, coming down, forward fold, inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, your left foot goes back to create a lunge. Taking a nice inhale. Exhale to meet your left foot to your right. Inhaling to a halfway lift. Exhaling, your right foot back. And coming into a lunge. Taking an inhale here, always through the nose. And then exhaling and bringing your right foot to meet your left. Inhaling halfway, and then coming up. Ooh, nice. Okay, moving into our next pose. You're going to just step your left foot back and come to a wide-legged side stance. Wide-legged pose, really. You can see we've changed the orientation of our positioning. So just for a moment, open up your arms real wide, kind of move a little bit here. Then we're gonna come down. And again, bring blocks if you need to. If you want to use the chair, you can come up here. Make the pose accessible for you. Okay, so from here, we're gonna do some nice side twists. So first you'll take your right hand and place it in the center, just beneath your chest. More beneath your chest, okay? And then I like to put a little bend in my left knee and bring my right hip more closer to the center. And I gently lift my left hand up. If it's comfortable for your neck, you can try to look up at your left hand. Otherwise, it's perfectly fine to keep your head in alignment with your spine, the twist of your neck in alignment with the rest of your spine, and just looking towards the left side. Okay. Now we're gonna do that again. So Bringing the left hand into the center, bringing a slight bend to the right knee, and bringing the left hip into the center. Breathing in, our right arm goes up. Okay, so we're gonna just do that a few more times. So exhaling, coming down and bringing the right hand in, making the bend in your left leg, bringing over the right hip, inhaling as you bring your left arm up. Exhaling, bringing the left hand down. Inhaling, bringing the right arm up. One more time. Exhaling. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. Okay. Then from here, taking a nice inhale into a halfway lift here. You're going to swivel over to the right, letting your right foot face the right side of your space. Your left foot is also pointing forward. The heel is off of the ground. Your left heel is off of the ground. The feet are a bit they're parallel to each other in the sense that like they're almost like on train tracks. So they're not one in front of the other. There's some space, like hips width distance essentially. You want your back here to be as long and straight as possible, not hunched over and curved. So if you need blocks to get you there or the chair, please use those things, those props. Otherwise, we're gonna just hold this now for 3 counts. Okay. Bring your feet back to parallel, facing forward in the wide-legged stance, and then we're going to swivel over, same deal. So a nice wide triangle essentially with your right heel off the ground. Again, if you need blocks to lift up the floor, feel welcome to use those. Trying to bring your chest closer to the left leg. Inhaling, taking nice 3 breaths. Okay. Then swiveling back to the center, lifting up, and then giving a nice bend in your knees so that you can roll yourself back up and kind of do a little fun dance with your feet to bring you back to center. Okay, so those are the components of the flow. So now we're going to try to put it all together. I've practiced it a few times. We're going to see how it is to teach it and see if, let's see if we can notice the difference between the first round into the second round into the third round. We're just going to do 3, just to kind of let it kind of integrate into the body and see if we can allow ourselves to pick up our own momentum, find our own pace. This is really important, is really finding your own pace in it. If I'm moving a little bit too fast for you or moving a little bit too slow for you, feel welcome to find your rhythm as you work through this flow. Okay, we're gonna give it a try, and then obviously if you'd like to continue and it's feeling good, you continue. I'm going to stop after 3 rounds, but carry on if you'd like. If you're really picking up that momentum, keep it going. Just know that eventually it is important to rest. So, and which we will do after our 3rd round, but feel welcome to continue if you'd like. Okay, here we go. Arms to the side. Our beginning standing pose. Feeling our feet firmly on the ground, the crown of our head, the tops of our head lifting up towards the space above us, spine feeling long, slight bend in the knees. Shoulders are feeling open. Okay. Then with a slight bend in the knees, We take a nice inhale and we gently raise our arms above our head, above your head. And then you bend over with an exhale, coming down to the ground with your hands, inhaling with a halfway lift. Exhale, coming back up with an inhale. Okay, hands to the side. Then we inhale again, moving over to the left, twisting, coming down at the left side, bringing our hands to the center with a halfway lift, inhale, coming back over to the left, inhaling up, and then moving over to the right to come down on an exhale. Halfway lift in the center with an inhale. From here, you'll take your left foot back into the low lunge that we practiced. And then we're going to twist over into our wide-legged stance. So from here, bring your left hand into the center. Gently bend your right leg and bring your left hip over into the center. Inhaling into wide-legged twist. Doing that again here. Okay, and then from here, we're going to twist, move, swivel into our wide forward fold and hold for 3. Because even in momentum, even when we're in flow, we still need to be able to rest and pause. Okay, so now you're going to gently bring your right foot up to meet your left, coming up to halfway lift with an inhale, exhaling, and finding yourself back in a standing pose. So we're going to do the same thing on this side, and then we're going to flow through it 2 more times fully. Okay. Inhaling, exhaling, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, exhale, and then come up again. Inhaling, coming down at the right side with an exhale, inhaling in the center, coming back up on an inhale through the right side, twisting over to the left, exhaling down and coming up on an inhale, and then exhaling over, but then coming up on an inhale from the left side, and then arms at your side, and then coming back up into inhaling, your arms up over your head, bringing your arms down, halfway lift with an inhale. Then from here, bringing your right foot back into a low lunge, twisting into the center, starting with your left knee bending and your right arm coming up, and twisting over them to the left. And then swiveling into this wide triangle forward fold. Holding for 3 breaths. Okay, then your left foot comes to meet your right. Inhale on a halfway lift, exhale, and then inhaling to come up to stand. Okay, let's try that 2 more times. See if we can get into a bit of a flow, finding our own pace, our own rhythm, our own momentum. Feel free to pause when you need to. If you feel like moving through something a little bit faster because it's feeling good, totally go for it. Okay, cool. Here we go. On a nice inhale, we're coming up. Forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift, twisting back over, coming up, left side, moving over to the right, coming down, and then inhaling. Okay. Your left foot comes back into a lunge. You swivel into the center. Left arm up, right arm up, swiveling into 3 counts of holding this wide-legged forward fold. Bringing your right foot to meet your left, inhaling, halfway lift, folding, coming up on an inhale, arms to the side. Inhaling again, coming up, exhaling, folding forward, inhaling, halfway lift, coming back up, okay. And then from here, inhaling again, twisting over to the right, coming down to the right with an exhale, inhale, halfway lift, coming back up the right side, twisting over to the left, down with an exhale, inhaling at the center, then twisting back over to the left and inhaling up the left side body, and hands come at your side. Inhaling again, bringing down, your right foot comes back, you twist into the center, left arm comes up, right arm comes up, you twist back over to hold here for 3 counts. Bringing your left foot to meet your right, inhaling again, halfway lift, exhaling, and then inhaling to come up to standing. I realized maybe I switched something up in there a little bit. That happens. Just like in life, we do one thing one way first, and then when we do it again, we change something up, and somehow it still works. So this 3rd round is really an opportunity for you to practice a bit on your own. I'm not going to cue as much. See if you can find your own rhythm in it. If you need to look over at me to remind yourself of the flow. But this is a nice opportunity for you to see what you can do within yourself and getting into this flow a little bit. Okay. Inhaling, exhaling. Halfway lift. Okay, check in with yourself when you've made it to the other side if you'd like. Otherwise, keep the momentum going, keep flowing. Keep breathing. The breath is such an anchor in these practices. It's also like the pacemaker essentially. I know I just did a different variation on that side, and that's okay. It's part of the practice. And then once you've made it back to the other side, if you want to keep going, please. Follow what your body is telling you. If you want to keep moving in this flow, you take it and do what you need with it. But for us who have decided to take a break now, we're going to end the practice just by bringing our feet together just as we ended, I'm just moving to face you guys. And just checking in with yourself. Checking in with your body. Checking in with your breath. Checking in with your mind. Seeing how it feels. We did a really great job of practicing the essential components that we need to eventually build into some sort of a momentous flow. And this is definitely something that you could take with you into everyday life. And yeah, without saying too much more, I hope you enjoyed the practice. I hope that you might continue to try it out, find your own rhythm, maybe make some variations along the way too. That's the fun of it. And yeah, that's kind of what it's meant to be, is when things start feeling good, you find your pace, you find your rhythm, you add your own maybe movements that start to feel good, and would make me so happy to know that you found your own way through this practice. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.